Thank you so much. I thank everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. I think this, if you are in Indian time zone, you should already get into the evening now. That's how awesome the world is. My name is Sisikan Ikpe, and I'll be glad to share with you what I title Making Progress Whilst Waiting. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen and we get started. Just give me a few seconds to get my screen on. Okay. So the story is about someone I will call him James, all right? And James could be anyone. James could be you, James could be me, but we'll just get to know why I'm using James as our example in this situation. And also just for the records, I just in case you hear any background noise, I am a father of a toddler who wants to be working with me. So just in case, I have to apologize for that. Should you have any noise in the background? All right. Trying to. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So today we are talking about making progress whilst waiting. And I have a young man by name James. Like I said, James can be anyone. James could be Drew Tatam, for instance. James could be Shreya. James could be just anyone. Sarah Guest. And what's that thing about James? We want to see how James could have discovered opportunities in moments of nothing. All right. And so here is James. He has a $5,000 idea, and he's been sitting on his system trying to make costing and finding out what will it cost to have this vision come to reality. And then James figured out $5,000 is what he needs to make it come to pass, his plans and all of that. But James is working in a job that is not really his dream job. And by the time he spends everything on bills in some other countries, they may not call it bills, but I think in America it's mostly bills. By the time he sorts out everything about his bills, he's left with $500. And James is not sure $500 can do anything. You can see he has $5,000 project cost, and he wants to build something great. But also, James is also enrolling in some courses, applying for jobs. He wants to do a big tech job. Maybe someday James wants to land himself in Microsoft and maybe earn better. So James is waiting, applying and waiting. And months pass, weeks pass, months pass. It became 2 years plus. And James hasn't made any progress because he's still waiting for the jobs he applied for to call him and probably give him the job. All right. But the bad thing about that is that James never got that. We'll find out what he would have done better. All right. What he would have done much better in terms of getting his dream job come to pass. And so James figured out $5,000. I need to get a job that probably pays, let's say, $10,000, $6,000 per month, or after 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And then he can be able to save $1,000 every month. So in 5 months, James, in his thoughts, is assuming to have been able to raise $5,000. for his business. And so James is waiting, just like any other person would. Like I said, James could be me, James could be anyone. And so what happened? What would James have done differently? He could have shown up even in small ways. So James failed to show up by not letting his, he had $450. So let's just assume that James picked out of the $450, he saved $300 every month. It looks like a small thing. It looks like it's going to take a long time. But guess what? That long time will eventually come passing by. And so if James had shown up, even in small ways, putting aside $300 in a savings plan, small consistent actions compound over time. And it's known that progress often starts with tiny disciplined steps, not just any steps, but those steps have to be disciplined, not some kind of grand gesture. And so James refused to show up. He's been waiting for that big tech job to come so he can have some fat sum of money and he can be able to pull out maybe 1.5 and set aside. So that, because what James is doing is trying to reduce the time he's going to wait. He doesn't want to wait for long, because if you save $300, so have my calculator here, all right, just like you would, and I want to check $300. Let me share $5,000 in 300, right? That will take me 16 months. That will take James 16 months. That will take you 17 months roughly to wait. That's like a long time. So 17 months minus 12 months, which is 1 year plus. But guess what? If you don't take a step, if you don't make a move, that 2 years will come and pass. The 2 years will walk past you while you're still waiting. So I say, make progress while waiting. So waiting is not passive. So James thought waiting is passive. It's not passive. Many wait for the perfect opportunity, like James waiting for the big tech job instead of leveraging on the present to prepare. In tech careers, learning a new skill, contributing to open source or networking can happen while you wait for your dream role. And I tell you this for a fact. I am a practical example of someone that can make progress while waiting. I've been waiting for my dream job, and I decided to take up a volunteering role in a company in South Africa. I do remotely. I'm currently in Texas in USA, and I happen to be their M365 administrator and also their educational consultant. I train the local miners on how to get their, once people hear miners in Africa, we see some kind of date jobs, people that put their hands on the mud, try to find gold and all of that. We try to educate them on how to present what they mine, what they spend years, what they spend months mining, present it in a good way, and then be able to source for customers, clients around the world using technology. And I also facilitate that training. I get them on board. I onboard them into the M365 ecosystem, give them an account, and teach them how to make use of the SharePoint site where they can display their product. Now, having done all of this, I began to gain experiences, all right? And guess what happened? I started putting up what I do on LinkedIn, and I started getting offers. Recruiters started coming to my LinkedIn page and started asking me questions. Are you interested in this role or not? Why did that happen? Ask yourself the question, why that? That's because I refused to wait passively. I decided to take action. I didn't want to be like James. No, I didn't want that for me. All right. I wanted to make sure that I'm making progress while waiting for that dream job. And I'm sure you too, you have a dream job you're waiting for. What are you doing? Are you just waiting passively, or you're making progress while waiting? Reaching out to apply for mentorship role in Women in Power platform is you making progress while waiting for that dream job. So here is one thing James could have done differently. he could have removed all the all or nothing mindset. You've heard people say this. It's all or nothing. If I don't get this, it's either this or nothing. Hey, change your mindset. I can tell you, I'd rather say it is all or at least something. All right. Someone said if you aim at the sun, somehow, you will fall on the stars. You're still high up there. It's easier to try from the stars to the sun is closer than from the earth from where you are. All right, aiming the sun. So sometimes you stay on the earth and keep aiming at the sun and you don't hit it. You keep trying. What if you land on the stars and then keep making that progress? So James thought he could only start serving seriously when he earned more. Similarly, in tech, you don't need the perfect environment, resources, or title. Power consultant, power platform consultant, a lot of us want to bear that. MVP, come on. What happens in you just being someone that shares free resources on LinkedIn? That's making progress. And remember, progress thrives in imperfect conditions. There are some people that when they write their post, it takes them days before they can post it. They can put that post on LinkedIn. Do you know why? Because they feel it's not perfect enough. So they keep working on it, and time is passing. Meanwhile, there is someone that was waiting to receive your post. There's someone that was waiting for your post, but they keep on procrastinating and making excuses. So I ask you a question. Are you making progress while you're waiting? So time will pass anyway. Make it count. James was checking his wristwatch. He wasn't checking for how long time has passed without him making progress. He was checking for how long it would take for the recruiters to get back to him. Unknown to him, 2 years passed without him. Thank you so much. Yes, without him hitting his goal because he didn't act differently. For tech professionals like all of us here, months or years can pass without skill upgrades. If you wait for the right time, use that time intentionally. During your coffee break, you can just learn one or two things. I saw on LinkedIn, I think it was Sharon, or I don't know who posted, either Sarah guest. She mentioned that she used her lunchtime, break time during work hours, all right, that 1 hour to learn something. And she posted the achievement on LinkedIn. I was encouraged. And I said, that is it. That's making progress while waiting. You don't need to have 9 hours. You don't need to have 1 day off before you can learn something. Instead of scrolling on things that don't add value to you, why not just take that time and learn something? Because time eventually will pass, but you have to make use of it intentionally. And so here is something James could have done. He could have built momentum. All right. So how do you build momentum? What if James said put aside $200? Let's make it very simple for James. Put aside $200, and in 5 months he would have had $1,000. Guess what? What if the job comes in 6 months? James would have already built momentum. Remember, no plane takes off at the start. The plane has to move across the line, the runway. What is it doing? Why are you wasting time moving on the runway? You could have just taken off, but it's building momentum. The momentum is not needed for the runway. It's not needed on the ground. It's needed above, right? It's needed at the sky, in the sky. And so James should have started serving, building that momentum, having that mindset, because there's something about the brain. Once the brain is used to you not doing things, not making progress while waiting, it gets used to it. But if you start making progress little by little, you're training your brain. Hey, this person that owns you loves making progress. So your brain is already configured to make progress. Think about that. So in tech, preparing advanced certification, portfolio, project, networking positions you to move fast when your opportunity comes. All right. And then finally, I know I asked for 30 minutes, but I think few minutes would have done the job. You are one step away once you make that first step. So small shift in mindset and action creates massive change. Keep moving. Your dream role is closer than you think. And I'm telling you, the mentees, keep making progress. Keep putting that call. Keep making those adjustments as your mentor calls you and advises you to make adjustments. Keep making the adjustments. I remain your friend, Nsikan Igbe. Thank you. And I'm open for questions. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for this inspiration. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful way to start the day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Nsikan, how do you not have a podcast?
I should. I will. I will think about that.
Please
Thank you.
do.
You absolutely should. You got some subscribers.
Yeah. Thank you. I won't be like James, okay? I'll start somewhere. Yeah.
Wonderful topic. I truly enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. It actually gave me goosebumps because I could resonate. So thank you. Anybody from the audience want to maybe ask a question, or could they also resonate with the presentation, or even have a few remarks of their own? Keith, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Just wanted to say really great presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
Really good delivery. Love the slides. Love your confidence as well. And yeah, it does resonate. You know, it was a few years ago when I was starting to use my time a bit more effectively to kind of upskill, get some certifications, learn a bit more about this LinkedIn thing, which I didn't use very much at the time. And since then, the last few years have been a bit of a whirlwind, but in a good way. You know, lots of growth and progression. So yeah, really inspirational. Thanks for that.
I have to
Amazing.
echo
Thanks,
that
Keith.
Thank you.
too. Sorry, I know for me at least, I didn't really use LinkedIn all that much either, but during breaks and stuff, I would constantly find myself scrolling on Instagram or, other social media platforms. But as soon as I made that shift to replacing the time that I was spending on scrolling Instagram with scrolling LinkedIn and then following so many other Microsoft MVPs or just other people who are consistently sharing out really great content, the amount of time or the impact really that I've seen in the time that I've spent scrolling LinkedIn is amazing because in maybe 3 minutes of scrolling, I could learn 3 different things that I could have never learned if I used that time scrolling Instagram, to be honest. But just making that minor shift has really accelerated my own learning and has inspired me and has really sparked so many other use cases that I didn't think about before. And it's
Hello?
easy to see that, like, wait, all these other people are
Is
sharing
anyone
great.
speaking or am I off the call?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
can hear you.
we
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
hear
I can
you.
hear you.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we can hear
okay.
you. Yeah.
Sorry. What I was saying is, like, it's easy too though to think like, oh wait, so many other people are sharing so many great content. Like, what do I have to offer? But the reality is, like, everyone else is, all those other people aren't, connected to the people that I'm connected with. And so they might only touch a few people, but the more people who are sharing other people, it really just kind of helps spread that knowledge, spread the love. To really inspire people to make this career shift and learning more about the Power Platform. And so thank you for, again, this inspiring talk. I think it's really encouraged me to not wait for perfection, but just post, even if it's not perfect in my eyes. Like, it's going to help somebody, whether it just sparked a small idea or led them to discover other people. So thank you again. I really appreciated it.
You're welcome. Thank you too.